It's 50,000 years ago. The night is silent, but not peaceful. You're huddled with your tribe in a shallow cave, your back to the fire, the smell of ash and fear thick in the air. Suddenly, a scream. Not an animal's, a human's. A rival clan has found you, and they're not here to trade. We think of ourselves as apex predators, masters of the food chain. But for most of human history, we were the prey, and not just to saber-tooths and wolves. We were hunted by things with sharp spears, jealous hearts, and our same faces. We like to imagine ourselves as the conquerors of the natural world. We build cities, fly through the skies, and bend metal to our will. But for a much longer stretch of history, we weren't the hunters. We were the hunted. Let's rewind the clock, not just a few centuries, but tens of thousands of years. Before agriculture, before writing, before even fire was truly mastered. Imagine being born into a world where your death would most likely come from the jaws of something faster, stronger, and hungrier than you. Early hominids, our ancestors, like Australopithecus and Homo habilis, didn't dominate their ecosystems. They were small, slow, and not particularly well-armed. They didn't have claws, no venom. Their teeth were unimpressive. And they weren't exactly the smartest tools in the shed yet. So, how did they survive? By staying invisible. That's right. Much of early human survival was about not being seen. We know this because of how they slept. Fossil records and studies of modern primates suggest that early humans often took shelter in trees or high rock ledges, not for comfort, but to stay out of reach. Large cats like Dunophilis and giant birds like Haas, eagle, actively hunted early humans and children. In fact, there's chilling evidence from fossilized skulls that show puncture wounds matching saber-toothed cats. Scientists found a Homo habilis skull in South Africa with 2 holes clean through the top, perfectly matching the spacing of a big cat's canine teeth. That's not a battle scar. That's a kill shot. And yet, somehow, we survived. Not by brute force, but by evolving around fear. Our hyper-awareness, our ability to sense danger, even our tendency to sleep lightly, these traits were sculpted by generations of living in a world where the question wasn't, what should I hunt today, but what's hunting me? Nightfall wasn't just dark, it was deadly. Before the invention of fire, the nighttime world was the most terrifying place imaginable. For early humans, it was a time of absolute vulnerability. With poor night vision, no safe shelter, and no torches or tools to ward off predators. They had one option: hide. The African plains weren't just crawling with lions and hyenas. There were predators now long extinct Tarctatus, the giant, short-faced bear, Smilodon, the saber-toothed tiger, and packs of dire wolves. Each of these creatures was stronger and faster than the fragile bipeds trying to scrape out an existence. Humans adapted, not physically, but mentally. We developed a heightened startle response, that hair-raising feeling on the back of your neck when you think someone's behind you. That's a prehistoric survival tool, a whisper in the dark, a sound in the grass. These weren't just annoyances, they were signals that something might be stalking you. And we didn't sleep like we do today. Studies of tribal groups that still live close to nature, like the Hadza of Tanzania, show that people naturally sleep in shifts. Even in the absence of alarms or schedules, someone in the group is almost always awake. It's a kind of rotating vigilance, an inherited instinct to always have eyes open, even while others rest. That behavior isn't just cultural-less, ancient. Prehistoric humans lived in groups not just for food sharing, but for mutual protection. A single individual was easy prey. A group, especially one with a fire or sharp rocks, could fight back, but the balance was fragile. A single misstep, a child's cry, a misplaced campfire, a scent carried on the wind could give away a tribe's location. And once discovered, it wasn't just one predator you had to face. It was a coordinated, instinctual hunt, too. Survive the night was never guaranteed. Every sunrise was a victory. Fear wasn't a flaw. It was a feature. Everything from our biology to our behavior was sculpted by the fact that, for most of our history, we weren't safe. We weren't kings of the jungle. We were just meat with brains, trying to outrun sharper teeth and colder nights. Let's talk about the human brain. One of its most ancient parts is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped cluster responsible for processing fear. It's quick, reactive, and primitive. It triggers that jolt of panic you feel when something moves too fast in your peripheral vision. And it's ancient, passed down from times when reacting a fraction too slow meant getting torn apart. Even our storytelling instincts may come from this. Around fires, early humans would share tales of danger, which path led to the lion's den, where a child was taken, how someone survived a predator's ambush. These weren't bedtime stories. They were survival manuals, encoded in emotion. And this fear-based learning didn't just stop at us. We passed it on. Epigenetic studies today suggest that trauma and stress responses can be inherited. So when a child today jumps at thunder or feels anxious in the dark, they're not just reacting to personal experience. They're echoing the caution of thousands of generations of hunted ancestors. Even our body language reveals this legacy. Curling into a ball when scared. That's a fetal position, natural instinct to protect vital organs. Goosebumps, regionally, used to puff up body hair and make us look larger to predators. The urge to flee rather than fight. That's not cowardice. That's centuries of smart decision-making baked into our DNA. So, the next time you feel a chill at the sound of breaking branches, or your heart races in a dark room, remember, your body isn't malfunctioning. It's remembering. We weren't born predators. We began this journey in the shadows, huddled in caves, hearts pounding, eyes wide in the dark. Not as rulers, but as prey. Vulnerable, exposed, fragile. We feared the beasts outside, the rival tribes nearby, and eventually, each other. Fear was our first teacher. It sculpted our bodies, sharpened our minds, and rewired our instincts. It made us hide. It made us plan. It made us evolve. But it never really left. Even now, behind our locks and walls, beneath the comfort of civilization, we are still haunted by echoes of that ancient hunt, by instincts we didn't choose but can't escape. Because for most of human history, survival wasn't about conquering. It was about not being caught. So when you feel uneasy, in the dark, when your gut tells you to run, when suspicion creeps in for no reason at all, remember, your ancestors are still with you. They survived not because they were fearless, but because they were afraid. And that fear, that was their gift to you. If this journey through our hidden past gave you chills or clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Let us know in the comments what fear still lingers in you. What ancient instinct do you think we still carry without even knowing? And if you want more immersive, unsettling truths about humanity's untold history, subscribe to the channel. There's more beneath the surface than we've ever been told. Thanks for watching. Stay alert, stay human, and we'll see you in the next story.